Hello, I'm Jerry Van Dyke. Please make a donation to the Carnegie Council's annual fund. It will directly support programs such as the video you're about to watch. These are very challenging times. Please keep the voices for ethics alive. Go to carnegiecouncil.org. Thank you.
Why have special interest and money so completely captured our politics? I want to suggest to you here today that the problem is more than the role of special interest lobbying and campaign contributions. One big reason that's unacknowledged that money has been able to carry the day is because our government today is but a shadow of its former self. The size of the executive branch workforce in 2008, that is, the federal workforce, was the same size as it was in 1963. Yet the federal budget in that same period of time has more than tripled, adjusted for inflation, and the population has doubled. That enormous gap, in part, is filled by contractors. A firm like Lockheed Martin is today doing more than servicing weapons systems. It also sorts your mail, tallies up your taxes, cuts Social Security checks, counts people for the US Census, runs space flights, and monitors air traffic. That we have become one nation under contract means that there is no longer any vigorous and disinterested government to turn to for help. The business of government is increasingly in private hands. When government work becomes private sector activity, governance itself becomes opaque, since contracts are considered proprietary information. The underside to the sweeping privatization of government power has become all the more apparent as the gap between the fortunes of Wall Street and of Main Street has widened. Since virtually every contract and grant represents jobs in some representative's district, focused lobbying can deliver bigger and bigger rewards. Special interest campaign contributions make the difference in every re-election campaign with predictable consequences. The rapidly spinning revolving door between government and business is a standing invitation to corruption. The one interest that goes underrepresented in this mix is the public interest. My book focuses on a smaller slice of this puzzle. It tells the story of how contractors came to dominate our foreign policy across the so-called 3 Ds of defense, diplomacy, and development. And it argues that while the core business of foreign policy has fundamentally changed, our strategies and our frameworks for thinking about it have lagged behind. The result is that outsourcing as presently practiced is scandalous, but turning the clock back and reasserting top-down government control, tempting though it may be to many people, is no solution. Contractors, I argue, are not the problem. The absence of good government is. From a foreign policy perspective, turning the clock back is no solution because the threats of the 21st century differ so radically from those of the Cold War. So a whole-scale reinvention, if you will, of what we mean by foreign policy is therefore required. We don't need a new prescription for our glasses. I argue we need a whole new eye chart. We need to change the things we see.